Hi, it's Mary Ellen with IT in Canada, and I'm here today at Dell's very first Dell World in Austin, Texas, speaking with Barton George, who's the Director of Marketing for Web and Technical Vertical, and also with Paul Cooper, Country Manager of Dell Canada. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for taking the time to speak with me this afternoon.
Thanks for talking with us.
Good. Barton, could I start with a very broad question about cloud and Dell's activity in this space?
Sure.
I'm just wondering, you're a relative newcomer to cloud, so I'm just wondering what the cloud value proposition is for Dell and how you're marketing to new customers.
I think that there might be a perception that Dell is new, in some areas that Dell is new to this space, but in reality we've been in this for over 4 years now, which in the case of cloud is pretty much its lifespan. And we started out with a group called Data Center Solutions, which was built and established to build custom systems for the biggest of the big players. Players we can mention that you know about would be Facebook, Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Bing. And these are people who are building gigantic cloud setups which have scale-out architectures, and they have to have special custom servers that have that are built for the scale-out architecture and built for the what we call the revolutionary cloud architecture that's put on top of it, which is basically the redundancy and availability is baked into the software layer rather than the hardware layer. So as a result, you need a completely different type of a server, because if you put in the redundancy in the server, that's added cost that will really add up when you talk about the scale that these cloud players are operating at. So we've been in that space, as I said, for over 4 years now. What we've done, though, is we've developed that, we've taken it from the custom side, and we've built some derivative systems based on these custom designs, and we now have what we call our PowerEdge C line of servers that are available to people that we're calling the next 1,000. So people who are dealing with scaled out systems and cloud architectures, but not quite as big as the ones we've been working with. Then because these people in the next level want more than just servers, they also want software, we're working with partners to provide complete solutions. People like Joyent, like Astrodata. We just announced a Hadoop solution. We're working with OpenStack, the open source cloud platform, and we provide a complete solution with support, services, software, and systems to the cloud people. So we've got those offerings. That's on the building the cloud side. On the other side, we also have cloud-based services that Dell offers. One that we recently announced is the VMware cloud-based service that people can get access to. We have things like Boomi, which allow you to integrate all your cloud applications with your on-premise applications. We have IT management software as a service as well. So we've got things for the very largest of the large, all the way down to people who want to access cloud-based services that can go all the way down to the small business. So that's sort of our overall portfolio in the cloud space.
As you were putting together this end-to-end solution approach to cloud computing, how much of your strategy was based on acquisition?
Well, I think in general, Dell has a company that has been traditionally been all about organic growth, has now become much more open to the whole idea of acquisition. We've made approximately 10 acquisitions in the last year. Some of them, as I mentioned, in the cloud space, like Boomi, like SecureWorks, etc. But for every opportunity we look at, are we going to make, are we going to partner, or are we going to buy? And we go across that spectrum. In each case is an individual, case-by-case basis. And so we're doing a lot of both. As I say, we're building a lot of the hardware we're doing. We're also building some of the software itself. We've actually developed something called Crowbar, which is a system that allows you to install and deploy cloud systems in a matter of hours as opposed to days as it normally takes. As we build, we also partner, as I say, in the case of OpenStack, working with that, working with people like Joyent, and then we acquire as well, as I said, in the case of Boomi or SecureWorks. So I think it is a real continuum, and we're going to look at things on a case-by-case basis and see which makes the most sense.
Okay. Just a question about opportunity. Where is the greatest opportunity for you in cloud? Because you do a range of things. I mean, you sell hardware to large cloud service providers or enterprises. You've partnered in the relationship with VMware, for example, on building a public service. You do software as a service as well. So Where do you see the biggest opportunity for you in cloud going forward?
Well, I think what we try to do at Dell is we try to provide choice. So there are those customers who say, we've got the software down, don't you worry about the software, we've got the support, we can do that, we just want you to build custom systems for us. All the way to the other end of the spectrum that says, we don't want to mess with any of this, we would love a complete solution. And I think that's where Dell as a company is moving, is to a solution provider. And that's where the biggest opportunity will be. We'll continue along that continuum to do everything from building specific piece parts to it, all the way up to providing complete solutions. But I think complete solutions are where the greatest opportunity is, because you can take that burden off the customer. You can come in with hardware, with software, with services to get it up and running and keep them up and running as they go.
Okay, nice. I think we need to move to Canada, to the delivery of cloud services in Canada. And I'm wondering what you're thinking will be the preferred channel for delivery of cloud services in Canada. I know that a lot of the large telecom providers are now making a strong play in this area. So are you having conversations with the telcos, or what would your preferred channel be?
So, to answer your question, absolutely, we're having conversations with the large telcos. The reason for that primarily is that they're big customers of ours in a number of instances. And so we're talking to them as we traditionally would about different opportunities that may exist for us to help them within their organization. That includes the capabilities that we've developed within our data center solutions organization. So as they build out these large-scale data centers, as Barton has already referenced, we have a lot of capability in that area that may be relevant to them, and so we're actively involved in conversations at this time. When you start to think about how cloud-based services, applications, infrastructure will be delivered, I don't know that there's any one right channel, to be honest with you. What we're seeing is it depends on the customer situation and their appetite, whether they're trying to implement a hybrid cloud strategy, a private cloud, or truly go to the public cloud, will probably dictate where that infrastructure resides and which channel we use to kind of pursue that opportunity with our customers.
Okay, that makes sense. And of course, there is the issue for a lot of Canadian customers, that may be addressed by this flexible approach that you've taken, and that's the issue of privacy and data sovereignty. So, how do you talk to your Canadian customers who ask you about that, as they probably will?
Well, the first thing we do is listen to their concerns, because they are legitimate. Obviously, the intersection of privacy and security laws and policies around the world actually, in some ways, inhibit the evolution of the cloud, at least until we completely understand and can assure customers that we can protect their interests, whatever those interests may be. And so it always starts there. It always starts with an understanding of their requirements, very specifically around protecting their consumers' privacy and protecting security at a company or national level. And so that's the starting point. Once we understand that, what we found is that we can actually deliver in a variety of different modes from a variety of different locations and be completely compliant and give them all of the assurances and sort of commitments that they need, that we will not compromise kind of their privacy and security policies within their organization. And so it really is a conversation, though, that needs to occur to bring that level of comfort. And then we can show very specifically how we were able to adapt or deliver against those commitments that they in turn need to be kind of delivering back to their stakeholders, whomever they may be.
Is there a way that you could provide hosting from within Canada, or is that?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. In fact, we have instances already of private cloud infrastructure that we have put in place. We have a service in Canada called MSite, which is Meditech, health information system that resides in a private cloud, if you will, and is shared by a number of hospitals in the Greater Toronto area. That's an example of a decision and a solution that was created specifically to address security and privacy concerns around health records that are obviously residing on this HIS system. So they wanted the benefit of the cloud, but they couldn't take the risk of that data residing kind of outside of the country of Canada or even the province of Ontario. And so that's what they did there. So there's plenty of examples of us doing that. And as you've heard earlier today, Dell has made a big commitment to building cloud infrastructure around the world for delivery of these services and these these applications in the range of about $1 billion over the next 12 to 18 months. And we are currently in discussions to ensure that Canada is part of that and that we have those capabilities locally where they are required.
That's great. Thanks very much for your insight.
Thank you.